guys, Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay, you guys, we're going to create a topiary with these pumpkins. Let me make sure I'm in frame here. There we go. So I already got started. Okay, let me explain it. Let me explain how they are going to be stacked. So here's your large one on the bottom. I got half of it started, so I'll finish it up with you, just for the sake of time for this video. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It was $10, so it's kind of expensive, but it was 50% off. So then I only spent $5, so that wasn't bad at all. So go to Hobby Lobby to pick one of these up. It's a paper mache, see? Paper mache pumpkin in the fall section. Then, real cheap and easy, got this one from the Dollar Tree. These are those orange pumpkins. You kind of see some of the orange right there. Okay. And we already got started on that. But I'm going to finish it up with you on this side. Okay. Oh, and the other thing is, they're hollow, these pumpkins. So, go ahead and just cut a hole out of there with, with the kitchen knife, with a steak knife, and leave that there, and then this can go right over it. So we can stack these pumpkins. And then we'll E6000 that on there when we're done. And then we'll E6000 this one. Now, this is one of those pumpkins from Dollar Tree. You want to make sure that you get one that looks like that, like a big fat one, and it has all of these grooves. Okay, they have so many different types of pumpkins. Any small pumpkin is going to work, but you want the ones with the grooves, because we're going to make checks on it. It's easy to make checks with the ones that have the big fat grooves in them. And then this will be E6000 onto the top. Okay, oh good, you got a good view of that. So that's how it's going to look when it's all done. Isn't that look so cool, you guys? And of course, it's Kenzie Childs inspired. Okay. So, oh, the other thing is, let me move this out of the way. These are those buckets made out of tin or metal, those metal buckets. Okay. Those metal buckets from Dollar Tree. I painted it. Everybody recognizes these metal buckets. I painted them from Dollar Tree. And I did stripes on this, and I left the what is this stuff, the twine, because I love the twine look against that. I think that looks really good. So this whole thing, I don't know if you'll be able to see in the camera. Let me see. Okay, so you can't see it once I put it on there, but this goes on top of here and gets E6000. So this will be your container that it sits on top of, like this. Okay, now you can see, and then it goes up. So what I'll do is, we'll do all the pieces. You do see how it's all stacked together like this, but from my camera and from my camera angle, I can't put it on top of here, on top of this for the stand, the bucket, because it just goes too high. So there'll be pictures before and pictures afterwards, so you can see the whole thing stacked together with the bucket on top of the bucket. Okay. Okay, so let's first work. I got so many pieces. Let's first work on the pumpkin. So I'm going to show you how I created the checks. Look how big fat checks those are. And they're not even completely all the same as widthwise, and that's fine. It just makes it look more whimsical. So any mistakes when you're doing this kind of work, this Kenzie check thing, I call them Kenzie checks. Embrace the any imperfections. They do when they create it. Everything's not totally even. It looks hand done, and it gives it a very whimsical look. So embrace the imperfections. And if that's hard for you, well, here's a good lesson on how to do it. Okay, so let's go to this side here. All right, so what you want to do is right here, there's a little indent, right? Little indent, a little crevice. You want to just follow that all the way down. Super simple. And there's another one right here, but it's already been done. I already did it, okay? Okay, so then Okay, so I already started, what you want to do is, I already started this check right here, right? You're going to follow that same line over. And as long as you have a place to start at and a place to end like this, it's really easy. It looks hard, like how do you keep the line going? But it's easy because you can go from here to here and it just, I don't know, it works out. So when you do it, don't worry. You'll be fine. So the next one is this line here, right? And this is the same technique you'll use when you do the smaller pumpkins also. When you do the those orange pumpkins, or when you do the smaller ones, it's the same technique when you're doing these checks. Okay, there we go. All right, so now let's go to this side. People always ask, why do I have that mirror? If I didn't have that mirror, we'd all be in trouble. I wouldn't know if I'm in frame. So that's what the mirror's for. Okay, so now we have our checks. Okay, 3 of them. And look, the space between here, here, and here aren't completely even. And it doesn't matter. For one, you're working on a round surface. Nobody knows how even or uneven the checks are. But it also adds to the whimsical nature. But if you want to make sure that they're completely even or even more evened out, you can do that. It's your choice. Okay. So we need some black paint. Where is... Oh, here it is. So you're just going to use some black apple barrel acrylic paint. 50 cents, Walmart, real cheap. You guys like it? I changed my pad so my videos look better. This is that from Dollar Tree. The cabinet liner, the liner. I love it. It's so pretty. I'm going to do a project with it. Do a DIY with it. It's so pretty. Okay. Let me see if I can sit down and do this or not and be in frame. Let's see. Yeah, you guys are seeing it. Okay. Oh, now see, I just messed up. See, I don't want to put, this needs to be white. Then this needs to, wait a minute. Okay, sometimes this happens. So this is a lesson. And it's okay that I put that black spot right there. In fact, they put like little spots in their work like this. Stuff like that. Not always that big, but they do. So I'll probably just take a little white and just take that off a little bit, but leave that black in the middle right there. So we're fine with that. You know, actually, that even looks good. I'm leaving it. Because they'll put inclusions in their work like that. Like when it got fired, that appeared. So we'll just leave it. We are good. Okay, but the problem is you need to follow the pattern. This is black, white, black, but we already have a black there. So we need to divide this in half right here. Sometimes that happens like that. And again, see, again, you're not going to be completely even with your checks. Like this check is going to be smaller. But that's fine. It's been like that the whole time, right? So. And working like this, it looks whimsical and it takes the pressure off. Okay, so now, so we got black, white. Now this can be black. I'm going to draw lines right here to go across. And that'll be all black anyway, the little stem. So black, white, black, and then that's white. So this needs to be black here. Okay. And let's suppose you completely mess up and you get out of pattern. No major, just paint it white. And start again. Oh, I didn't say that. Okay, I prepared the surface of this pumpkin, all the pumpkins, with Kilz, K-I-L-Z. You can use gesso, but you guys, it's so much cheaper to buy yourself a quart of Kilz for like $7, like, I don't know, probably $7 or $8, and it lasts you forever. So you'll have Kilz, and it's use it like a gesso. It's a wall primer. You get it at Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot. If you want to buy it by the gallons, you're looking about $15, $16. I buy it by the gallon because I use it in my mixed media too. So, all right, so now we have that. So now let's go back here. We have white. Now this needs to be black because this one up here is white. Just making sure that you guys are seeing me. Yeah. I can tell you this, it's much easier if, this is much easier if you're not filming it. Just because you have to, especially the big one. This big one is a little bit more awkward. Sorry if I get out of frame for a second. I have to look to see what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. Okay. So then we have white here. We need to have black here. And white's always above, right? Yeah, I studied a Kenzie Child's like their checks, and I'm like, oh, they're not even perfect at all. And then they make inclusions, which we're going to make inclusions also. So that just also helps with not having to worry about what you're doing. So we'll leave this one white. This one needs to be black. But I was looking at their checks, and I'm like, oh, their checks aren't even completely all the same size. I'm like, all right, cool. I have a Mackenzie Child's the coffee mugs, and I have the black and white check coffee mugs and the black and white check tea kettle that you put on the stove to boil water. I say that because some people think I mean teapot, but tea kettle. I love it. I do a pour over coffee, even though I have a coffee maker. I love pour over coffee, and I make it every morning, or tea. And I have, so every morning that kettle is on. Usually before I go to bed too. Okay. So here, the last one, we have black. This is white, black. Make sure you guys are seeing me. Yeah. I just kind of go as far, into the bottom as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything, just so that, none of this shows perfect. I'll have to show you guys the brush I'm using. It's a very interesting brush. I get it from, these brushes, aren't they beautiful? Hobby Lobby. I get them at Hobby Lobby in the craft paint section. So not in the fine art, but the craft paint section. They're right there above the paints, or right next to them. And they're like a pack of 5 and a pack of 10. So either cost you around $10 or $5, and I use a coupon. I love how they look for one, and they're wonderful brushes. And I really like this size for this work that I'm doing. I could switch the brush for this part here because it's such a big pumpkin for the fat part, but to get in the to get close on lines and stuff, this brush is perfect. Okay, that's black and that's white, and our last one here is black. I didn't think it was going to be this awkward to paint this. Because when I was painting it originally, the rest of it, I just painted it basically in my lap. So, but now I have to be at a certain angle, so I'm in the camera. And for those of you guys who watch my mixed media videos, I'll be doing some mixed media here very soon. So... oh, okay, you guys, this one, I'm not going to be in frame the whole time. I'll probably be out of frame. You won't be able to see the very bottom part. I just got paint on myself, so I can't tilt this anymore. So at least I'm just letting you know for this right now. It's just going to be out of frame for a minute. This is a big pumpkin. Okay. So, we're done. We did it all the way around. Yay! How cool. See how cool that looks? Awesome! Very cool. Okay, so the one thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and paint this whole stem black and this whole area right here. You know what I was thinking? Oh, you know what? I did miss it. Okay, because I'm like, all the way around, I did do those other lines, and I just skipped them right here. I don't know why I did that. Okay, just a second. If I do that. Yeah, we'll just leave it. Okay, but see here, I'm sorry to confuse you guys. See, I did do more lines, see, all the way around. But then when I got here to show you guys, I didn't do, I should have put another line right here. And right here, and right here. And left the bottom big. I meant to do that. Sorry, guys. So hopefully that's not too confusing. But we're going to do these same exact checks on the small one. So... don't worry, you're going to get a second chance to look at that pattern again, which is really easy. Just sometimes. But like I said, if you mess up like how I just did, it's probably going to still turn out cool. And I still think it looks cool, so I'm not going to worry about it. I can't fix it anyway because the pattern's already been painted. So, no major, though. I'm sure somebody was like, Angela, you just went out of pattern when you did that. And not to make a lot of excuses, but probably because I'm having to focus so much on staying in frame because this thing is huge. Okay. Did we get the whole thing? Yes. All right. So now, but like I said, the pumpkin's so big that no one's going to notice any little mistakes like that. So some people may say that's a big mistake, but whatever. But look how cool it looks still. So, all right. I don't want to touch this anymore because I've touched the paint like several times. Okay, let me wipe my hands off. And hopefully I have a piece of newspaper in here that I can place this on. Try to take my newspaper out of here. Is that newspaper? Hopefully it is. Okay, very good. I have a piece of newspaper to put this on. Yay! So just a second. Let me go ahead and put this on the ground to dry. And we'll come back to that and do some inclusions. Put some more mistakes into it. Okay, now this one is a medium one. Is our medium one. Okay. And we can probably bring this down a little bit more this time now. Perfect. We'll bring this down a little bit more, a little closer. Okay, good. Sorry for my chair. Let's see if I can wipe some of my brush up so you can see the shape of my brush. So this is the shape of the brush. It's a little bit different. It's not pointed, but it just looks like that. It's real small, but it's like square on the end, not pointed. And it works out really good to get into corners and nooks and corners and all that. Okay, so on this one, I went ahead and already did the lines. What you want to do is you want to take your pen and mark the lines right in that pumpkin crevice, okay? And make your line, make your line, make your line. And this is all in the crevice. So you're just a second, guys. Okay. I'm just thinking about what I did here because I remember I had to change things up because the crevices are actually not even. Yeah, they're not even. So this is what I had to do. Okay, sorry. Put a line. Okay, find your crevice, put the line, right? Then you need to put another line right here. Now there's not going to be a crevice. Then there'll be another crevice, put your line. Then there won't be a crevice. Now there is a crevice on this one, so this one's fine. Then put your line. There's a crevice here. But sometimes there's not a crevice, so you just have to make it yourself, okay? See, there's not a crevice here, so put your line. There's a crevice here, put your line. There is a crevice here. Go ahead and put your line all the way down. There's no crevice here, so go ahead and put your line in. There is a crevice here. Put your line in. And there is no crevice here, so you need to still put your own line in, okay? Again, crevice, put your line in. There is no crevice, put a line in. There's a crevice here. I'll just do it so you guys can see that and go over my line. There's no crevice here, but you can still do it. Oh, when there's no crevice, this is the trick, okay? Start at the bottom and put your line in. Then just from there, bring your line down, bring your line down, bring your line down, and bring it down. Okay, so there's a crevice, a line, the crevice is in the, there's a crevice here, so this is easy. Just follow the crevice all the way down. Okay, right here, again, there's no line, right? So, bring it up like this. Then you bring everything else down to it. And that's how you can stay fairly even with your line. There's a crevice here, so just follow the crevice down. This one again, there was no crevice right here again. So you bring it up, and then you bring your line down to meet it, down to meet it, down to meet it. So that's the trick I found when there's not a crevice there and you need to put the lines in. What happened was I was just hitting the crevices, but then the pumpkins aren't done evenly. Where those crevices need to be, they're not always there. So then that's what happened. So that's why I had to double check and let you know what the heck I did to make those. So hopefully that is, hopefully I was clear about that. Just a second, I'm washing my hands off. And don't worry, if you get any black spots on your pumpkin and the white, perfect, because they already do that as some of the inclusions. So you're fine. Okay, so now it's time to paint. So we're at black, white, black. So this one's not going to be, like, of course, it's not going to be, it's not going to be checks, it's stripes. So we did checks on the first one. We did checks on the first one. Now this one's going to be stripes, and then we're going to end with checks. So you'll get a second time to see me do those checks again. And be like, you know, at least semi-even. How I just skipped doing the one line. Anyway. Okay. So black, white, black. Hopefully my head's not in the way. Okay, I can, so this is the last one. I'm going to hold it from the bottom that's in the hole. So keep my hands out of the paint. All right, so now we have black and white stripes all the way around. Cool, huh? It just looks just so cool. All right, so now we're going to, let me put this down so I can let that dry. Okay, so now, clean up my mess a little bit. So now we have the small one. Okay, and I'm going to bring the camera down a little bit. Okay, I can bring it down more. There we go. There we go. So you guys can see it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. That's the checks. Cool, huh? Okay, So, how you do this one is, oh, sorry, my glass table. You're going to, now this one, the lines all match up, except for the last one. I had divided it in half because the black, white pattern didn't work out. So if it doesn't work out, add another line. I'll explain what I'm talking about. So in every crevice, you're going to do a line. And that line's already done, right? Then this is the next crevice. You're going to do a line here. Okay, the lines are already there. I'm just going over them. Now here, I looked at my pattern and I went white. This is going to be black, white, black. But there's already a black here, right? So it's going to be white. It's going to be white, black. Then I had to make this white. And then I had to draw another line here so that I can add another check. So we end up in pattern the right way. All right, that pen is a goner. And you use a Sharpie. Okay, I have 3 pens here, so one of them, okay, there we go. It's like one of them better work. Oh, I'm not doing it right. Okay, remember I said you bring the line up, and then you bring the line to meet it, like this. So again, when there's no line there, there's no crevice to follow. You bring the line up, and then you just bring the line down to meet it, down to meet it, down to meet it, down to meet it. And it makes it so much easier. And see how I have a little foo-fa right there? It adds the whimsy. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? So now we need to make the line going across, and that's so simple. You just go like this. Follow it from here, go all the way around. Bam! Just from this line to that line. Now let's go from this line to the next line. Bam. And the next one to this one. And that's how you do it, and then they always just line up all the way around. Okay? Try not to slam that. Okay. I'm not really slamming it. It's just that it's a glass mat, and this is ceramic pumpkin. And yeah, this is, if I didn't say that, these pumpkins are ceramic. These are the ceramic ones. Okay, so we got white, we need black. It doesn't take forever, but it takes a little time to do all this. So that's why I get started. And then I basically demo it for you. And I think I demoed enough so that you can do the project. Black, white, black. Okay. All right, then we have to do the checks down here, right? So black, white, black. Okay. And then we have white, and then we have black. So now this one's done. See? Cool. There's a little bit, there's a white spot right here. That's perfect. There's little, those are what the inclusions that I'm talking about. We're going to make that inclusion even a little bit more intense, but that's fine if that white spot's there, because we're going to put some white brush strokes through the black parts shortly. Okay, so stay over there. All right, so now we have the metal 10s that you get at Dollar Tree. Everybody usually gets, almost everybody who shops at Dollar Tree has bought these. So hopefully you have one in your stash, but if not, they have them. I believe they have them right now. They usually do. And if you can't find this tin, there's other things at Dollar Tree that you can use. Just look around the store and see. So let me bring this up a little bit. You could do it with glass. You could do it with glass. You could do it with the metal. You can even do it with plastic because you're using the Kills for a as your base. So again, I did the can with Kills, K-I-L-Z. You can also use gesso, but you're going to use a lot of your gesso, and gesso's expensive. So you get a big bang for your money to use the Kills, K-I-L-Z. Okay, so how we do the stripes is this. Like, where's my tape at? So you want to use some painter's tape. If all you have is masking tape, and this is the 3/4 inch, if all you have is masking tape, just make sure you take it and you just go on your pants a couple times just to get some of the stickiness off. Also, let your Kills, if you can, dry overnight, but at least let it dry for 3 or 4 hours. Unless you live in Las Vegas or Arizona where it's 110, 114, you can put it out there for half an hour. It's so bone dry, it's not even funny. So, but if not, you know, if you're somewhere with a lot of moisture, let it dry overnight, because the tape can just peel off your Kills, which you don't want. So, all right. And I put 2 coats on everything. That's the other thing, because someone's going to ask me. I put 2 coats on everything. 2 coats of the Kills. All right, so what you want to do, I'm going to explain something to you in just a second. You want your line to be straight. So your first line is going to be easy. You're going to put the tape on straight, and it's going to work out just perfect. After that, all hell breaks loose. Just kidding. After that, what happens, I guess because the can is going like, is going out like that, you can start going diagonal with your line. So to keep it straight, see, okay, to keep it straight, I line it up with the bottom and go straight up. It doesn't completely line up as it gets right here. And I just let it be like that. That way my line is staying straight. I just line it up with about right here. And then I continue with it being straight. And then it's not completely even there. See that, where that white spot is? Okay. And you're going to see me do that over and over again. So, oh, what am I doing? I can't paint yet. So then we're going to take our Sharpie and, oh, that one doesn't work. All right, let me find the Sharpie that works. See if we can come all the way down and you can still see. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're working with different size objects here, so large, medium, and small. Okay, again, you're taping this off and you're lining it up with the bottom so that it's straight. And then you continue straight up, and like I said, there'll be a little gap right here. Just line it up with the bottom. I don't know why I keep picking up that paintbrush. Okay. All right, do it again. So this technique where how you line it up, like I'm telling you to do, is for if something starts out and gets wider as it goes up. If you're doing like a plate or a tray, no, you just go straight across. But for this can, this is the way you got to do it. figured it out the hard way. All my lines were going. I'm like, why are all my lines going diagonally? It's perturbing me. Then I figured it out. So you won't have to suffer as much. Okay, I need to line that up better. So make sure your tape is going straight up. Okay. Okay, we're almost to the end of this. Sometimes the gap gets a little bit big, like look at that. But don't worry about it. Line it up at the bottom and go straight up. Okay, see how my line here got a little bit weird? We're fine. Okay. Anything that doesn't line up perfectly adds to the whimsy. Okay, I just want to make sure about my lines here. Black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white. This is supposed to be black. All right, just a second. Black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black. Okay, see how we ended up and it's a lot smaller right here? So what we're probably going to end up doing is this whole one right here is just going to be black. So it's going to be kind of a larger one, how we're going to end it. So, all right. If that completely bothers you, you can measure these stripes, but it doesn't matter. You're fine. Okay. Like I said, I've looked at Kenzie Child stuff, and they do all kinds of stuff like that on their stuff. I'm like, oh, that's a lot wider. That's a lot, quite a bit smaller. So, which is probably why their stuff looks so whimsical. Because it looks hand painted and it doesn't look perfect, and they put inclusions in it. So, okay. Now, we're not going to go through every piece and put the inclusions in. I'll put the inclusions in on the small one, on the small pumpkin. And then this way I do the inclusions is the way you do the inclusions on everything else. Well, I'll show you inclusions on the stripes, and I'll show you inclusions on the checkered. Because the stripes is a little bit different than the checks. Okay. I'm trying to think what project I'm doing next on camera. I need to make a bunch of pumpkins because I want to start decorating, but I need more pumpkins. Like the fabric pumpkins that Dollar Tree has. I'm making my own. You can make them for pennies on the dollar if you make them yourself. And I have one that I'm going to do, and I'll probably do that one with you guys. Well, I'll do one that you make out of a baby, out of the baby blankets. It's a gray and white. And then there's another one that I like to make, I'm going to make is, it's black and white checks, half black and white checks and half animal print. I've seen it at Hobby Lobby. It looks so cool. Yeah. I was going to try to divide that check in another. It'll be so skinny. So this will just be. And if you're totally stressed out about doing like what I just did, kind of a big fat stripe, just have it facing the back. Who's going to say something? Oh, one of your checks is fatter than the other. If someone says that to you, slap them in the head. They won't. They'll just be so impressed that you made it, and they'll be like, that is so flipping cute. They won't be saying none of that. Okay, so look how cool that looks. Isn't that cool? Okay, so let you see it from there. Very cool. So let's let this dry. Put this on the ground, let this dry. So now what we need to do is we need to do the inclusions. You know what? Where'd that brush go? Okay, just a second. I got to rinse this brush out. This is the brush I like to do the gold inclusions with. And we'll just do a few inclusions on one pumpkin and a few inclusions on the other one. Get this brush rinsed. I used the heck out of this little brush. Okay, let me clean up my mess. Or I will have black everywhere. Basically all over myself. And we don't want that. Okay. So let's do the stripes first and do the inclusions on the striped pumpkin first. Is this wet paint? All right, let's get my hands cleaned up. I don't know what's wet paint and what's not wet paint. All right. Let's make sure my hands are all clean. All right. That's all cleaned up. Okay, we're good. All right, so. Oh, some of the paint on here is still drying. All right, let's go over here. This will work over here. So that's what I'm getting. I'm like, why am I getting paint on my hands? All right, let's let this dry a little bit longer. There's still like a lot of wet paint there. I'm like, where's all the paint on my hands coming from? Because I'm touching wet paint on that one. Okay, so did this all dry? Usually they dry a lot quicker than that. It probably dries faster on the ceramic than it dries on that styrofoam. Okay, so let's see how close we are with our camera. Okay, let's bring it down a little bit. There we go. So let's do some inclusions. We need white. Just white. I just use white apple barrel acrylic paint. I like to buy my white and black usually in things this big. I had to buy this size last time because at Walmart hardly had any paint. So with everybody homeschooling their kids, the paint is gone. Okay, so let's start putting some inclusions on here. Just thinking about which brush. Okay. Usually I have my brushes out, but I cleaned up my area, so. Just a second. Now I have to look for the damn thing. And if you guys saw how many brushes I have, oh Lord. All right, I'm good. Oh, here it is. I'm like, in a second, I'll just pause because you guys don't want to wait for me to find a brush. Okay, what I like to make these inclusions with the white is a really stiff brush. I have two different sizes. I have this one that's a little bit bigger, but it's real stiff. So if you have some stiff brushes, that would work really good. If you don't have a stiff brush and you have a fan brush, you can use that too. It's just that I like this small one because I can really control, especially smaller checks. Okay. You don't need very much paint on your brush, so kind of wipe the paint off after you load your brush. And you want them to be different ways. Like on this one, I'm going to go up like this. Okay, that's it. On this one, I'm going to go just over to the middle like that. This one, I'm going to come up like that. This one, I'm going to go right down the center. All the way down. Okay. This I'm going to come from this side. This I'm going to come from this side. Okay. I'm going to come up from the bottom. I'm going to come a little bit right there too. This one I'll come from just up here and then down here. And remember, this is the one that had that white already there, so that one will be right down the center. See, this is why it doesn't matter if your checks are all perfect or not, because they put inclusions in the work. See, so that's why it doesn't. Also helps not matter if your checks aren't perfectly lined up. Okay, so I just went in and put some little white little inclusions there. Now, next, we need to put some gold on the white spots, little inclusions. And I like to use Splendid Gold Metallic by Deco Arts. They have this at Walmart too, right next to the craft paints in the craft section. Let me grab some water. My throat's getting dry. You can mix the gold with a little bit of white if you think it's too goldy. I like to use a straight gold. Okay. I'm taking that same brush I was painting the checks with and take the gold and we'll put a little line right here and a little line on that side. We'll put a line over here and a line here. See? We'll go right here. And we'll do a little line here at the top, and a little bit at the bottom. We'll put this one right dead in the center. Bam. This one we'll do like this. This one we'll do like that, and a little there. See? Okay. So I'm going to do right there and right there. Oh, all right, now I'm starting to get my hands in it. There we go. All right, let's go back. Let me just go back around because I got my hands in some things, so. Let me just see what I did. And like right here, I got my hand in it and a little gold touched over here. That's perfect. Don't you love that you can make these little mistakes and like it's perfect? See right here, I put my hand in it and it kind of mushed it out. So I like that. Very cool. So now you see, let me put my brush down, all the little inclusions. Okay. All right. Now let's hopefully that this pumpkin here is more dry now. So on the stripes, we'll just do these ones right here because I'm at a good spot of holding. Thank God. Just a second. Let me bring this up a little bit. Okay. So on this one, again, same brush. I'm just going to take and go do a stripe, a white line like this right down the center. Okay. Also, I'm going to just put a line here and then like a line there. I'm going to put a line right there and right here in the center. So you can see, you're just going to just do different things. Be very random about it. I'll go right down the center with this one again. I'll do one here, one up there. Okay. I'll do one here and one down here. I'll do this one down the center. This one we'll do here and down here. Okay, so then let's take our gold. Oh, let me hold, you know what, duh, I can hold it right here at the bottom, see, like that. Not touch anything. Okay, sometimes my brain. Okay, so I'm just gonna just a little there and a little like that and maybe a little bit like that. Okay. Okay, I just did one down to the bottom that you're probably not going to see. So this one I just did here and I did it right there. This one I'm going to do in the middle. I'm going to put a little there and maybe a little at the bottom here. If I go too far to the bottom, you're not going to see it. So we'll do like that and like that. And like that. If you get a little bit on the black, you're fine. You're like, God, you're so like, whatever. Well, because I've studied the Kenzie pieces, and once I did, I was like, oh. So the more little haphazard you are, actually the better. Just looks more whimsical. Okay, so now we have all the inclusions on this piece. Okay, so what we're going to do is, even though they're wet, I'll still put all the pieces together so you guys can see it. And what you want to do is E6000 all your pieces together. Let me just clean up my mess. You want to use E6000 glue and glue all the pieces together. Where is the E6000? Mine's so beat up. I hate to even show it to you. I have another one somewhere, but I can't find it. Anyway, this is what it looks like. It doesn't look all jacked like this, but it's E6000. I got a little hole in it, so I had to put a piece of tape on it, but this is what you're looking for. E6000. Walmart, and it is in the crafting section where the paints are, where the craft paints are. So you'll be able to find the craft paints, the E6000 all in one place. You'd almost think that E6000 would be in the hardware section. That's where I was looking when I first went there. And the reason I always buy my E6000 there, it's the cheapest place to buy it, unless you use a coupon at Joann's or Hobby Lobby. So, otherwise, it's always like $3, $3.50. So it's a really good price. Otherwise, it's like like $6, $5 or $6 at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's. But like I said, if you have a coupon, then you're still going to get it for almost the same price as Walmart. Okay, so let me grab the large pumpkin, which we have not put any inclusions in. But we're not going to worry about that. We will do that off camera. So let's build. Let me bring my camera all the way up. And let's build. So we have the big one, which isn't completely dry. Okay. Then we have our little one. We have our little one, or not little one, our medium one. That goes right on top. But like I said, you're going to put E6000 around the whole rim and then put this on top. And you'll put the E6000 on here. Or you could put the E6000. I would put it on here. Put the E6000 on here like this. And then stick that on top. And, you know, wait. I'd wait overnight, really. Okay. Then you have, so we have that. That looks so cool, you guys. And you guys saw the pictures before, and you guys will see pictures afterwards. And then this whole thing, let me scoot this over. This whole thing will go on top of this. So this is your vase. Remember we did the vase? But I can't put it on top of the vase or you're not going to see it. So the whole thing put together, you'll see in the pictures before and some pictures afterwards. To put this on here for it to stay, just put the E6000 on the rim of this and then place that all on top of here, and that should glue that on. I would put the glue on the rim here instead of the pumpkin, because there's no way to line that up. That's a really thin area to line this up. But this glue is so awesome, this E6000, that it will glue it together. Just let it glue overnight. So that is it, you guys. I hope you guys like the project. You like the 3-tiered pumpkin, or the pumpkin topiary. I think it turned out so cool. I think this is just so cool. There we go. I'm so excited. I can't wait to put this in my fall decor. Okay, you guys, let me know how you like this, if this is going to be something that you try. Oh, I just touched the pan again. I need to stop touching this because it's all wet. If this is something you think you're going to try, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give this video a thumbs up, that'd be great. Any comments or questions, leave below. Come visit me on Facebook and Instagram. And I'd like to end my video with this. Try to do something nice every day for somebody. The world really needs that. And the other thing is, we are more alike, my friends, than we are not. Okay, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.